Hello everyone, welcome to the session on XComs and branching in Apache Airflow. These two features from Apache Airflow help you to create dynamic and context-aware DAGs, the kind of automation that reacts to conditions and shares task result. In this video, we will understand what XCOM are and when to use them. We will learn to how data can move between tasks. We will see the use of branch Python operator for conditional workflows. So let's get started. Let's move on to the next slide. What are XComs? XCOM stands for cross communication. Here X is referred as cross. So what is XCOM? It stands for cross communication. It allows tasks to share small bits of data. XComs allows us allows tasks to share small bits of data. Tasks can push or pull values from one another. Think of it as a temporary message bus inside a DAG run. XCOM is not for large files or dataset, just small strings, numbers, or dictionaries. It is a system that lets tasks exchange small messages during a DAG run. Now these small messages are in the form of bits, small bits. Think of Xcam as a tiny message board inside a DAG run where one task can leave a message that another task can also read. In XCOM, through the message or say tiny bits of data, you can share the data in form of strings, integers, dictionaries, and in Boolean. XCOMs are not designed for large data like files, pandas data frames, or images. For those, we should use cloud buckets like GCS, that is Google Cloud Service, sorry, storage, or databases. So let's move on to the next. Before moving on to the next, we need to know how Airflow uses XCOM by default. So when a Python operator completes its return value is automatically pushed into XCOM. In visualization, task A runs and returns the status as pass. So the whatever status task has returned will get stored in XCOM. Then task B pulls this value, as we have already discussed that the whatever first task returns and whatever tiny message in the forms of bits is there, it can be seen by another task as well. So task B pulls the value returned by task A and then makes decisions or uses the result. Let's move to the next XCOM push and XCOM pull methods. Airflow automatically pushes the return value of a Python operator, which is later stored to XCOM. You can manually push and pull values like this. So you can say in this snippet, a function has been defined which is push data, and we have used .xcompush for pushing values having key as my key, and it stores the value hello world. Same for pulling a value, we will define pull data, and in value we will have xcom pull method in which we have task, push task, and key as my key. So it will return the value it had for its first task. Xcom push, inside it the arguments are key and values. For Xcom push, task IDs and keys. Xcom push manually store a value into the Xcom table where key is a variable name and value is the data to be stored. On the other hand, Xcom pull, it fetches the value stored by another task. It uses task IDs to specify which task XCOM, that is data in bits or small message, you want to receive. So that is the Purpose of XCOM push and XCOM pull. Let's move to the next. But before moving to the next, we also have XCOM storage. So, in attempt to show message or data in small bits or in this form of small messages, we need to have a storage facility. That is where XCOM storage takes place. XCOM storage is used for storing Airflow's metadata database. It is also viewable in Airflow UI. You can have a look of XCOM storage. You can access it in Airflow UI. You can check for XCOM tab in task instance details. Suppose a task is running in DH. You just need to find XCOM tab in instance details and you will be able to see the XCOM storage. Let's move to the next. Next, we have branching using branch Python operator. So what is branching using branch Python operator? Branch Branching using branch Python operator allows conditional task execution. The execution of a certain task in DAG can be done by setting some conditions. The tasks which are executed on the basis of some conditions, branching allows us to have that execution of that particular task. What is branching? Branching allows conditional logic, means only certain tasks run based on runtime decisions. Think of this as an Airflow if else block. Based on a condition, only one or more branches will run and the others will be skipped. The real use case for branching using branch Python operator are used for sending different emails based on results, send different emails based on users role as well, used for running different data quality checks, like running quality checks only on weekdays, and to deploy to tagging or production based on a flag. So how does branching works? Branch task returns the task IDs of the task to run next. All other are skipped unless manually set with trigger rule. The important thing to know is branching skips all non-selected downstream tasks. So it is only consisting of selected downstream tasks only. You can use a join task with a trigger rule to merge paths safely. For an example, suppose task A returns a value, more of a status flag. Branch task reads it and will decide which paths to follow. And at the end, final task will run no matter what. XCOM is used to pass a decision value. Branch uses that value to decide the route. Final task joins the branches. I have few suggestions that always validate your XCOM data before pulling it using XCOM pull method. Also use provide underscore context equals to true for passing airflow context like TI. You should use branching to avoid unnecessary or risky task execution. And at the end, you should monitor skipped tasks in the Airflow UI. We have seen Airflow UI in which I showed you what different colors are meant for. Like yellow was for the running task and the green was for successfully running task and the red was for failed task. So always monitor skip task in their flow. They are shown in gray color. Check for the skip task in Airflow UI. We are done with the XCOMs and branching. Let's revise what we have been through till now. We have understood what XCOM are and how data is exchanged between tasks in DAG. We have also seen the use of XCOM push and XCOM pull as well. We have also seen the conditional task execution using branch Python operator. We have seen the techniques to build decision making DAGs. XCOM stands for cross communication. It's a mechanism for tasks to share small pieces of data, or say in small bits of data, between each task within a DAG run. When a DAG is running, small pieces of data is being shared between tasks. Think of XCOM like a sticky note passed from one task to another during a DAG run. It is used at this scenario where task A fetches data from an API and shares a status with task B. Task B checks the status and only continues if it is success. Or task C reads a value like a file path and loads the file. The XCOM is best for sharing booleans, strings, dictionaries, numbers, and timestamps as well. It is not meant for large data size or files. XCOM values are stored in Airflow's metadata database table. Each value is linked to a specific task ID, TAG ID, and execution date as well. The default behavior for Python operator returns value from your function are automatically pushed to XCOM. The return string success is stored in XCOM under the task IDs. You should use ti equal to kwargs in square bracket in single quote ti to access the task instance. You should use unique keys when pushing multiple values. XCOMs are available only within the same DAGs and execution content. You cannot have XCOM of DAG1 with the XCOM of DAG2. The message or the information or data in bits need to be shared in the same DAG while the DAG is running. Next, we saw branching using branch Python operator. Branching lets you execute different paths in your DAG based on some certain conditions. Think of it like a Python if-else statement but at the DAG level. There are rules you need to understand. First one is the function must return the task ID to be executed next, or task IDs as well. Here you can see in full data we have assigned task IDs. You can either assign task ID or a list of task IDs as well, and all other downstream tasks are automatically skipped unless handled using trigger rule. So the downstream tasks which are not handled using trigger rules will be automatically skipped. So branching is used to decide whether to send a welcome email or a professional email. It is used to choose between running full ETL or incremental load. Branching approves or rejects a document based on the validation. As of now, we have covered all of the topics we have in till now. XComs and branching. I guess we are done with branching, XComs and branching. See you in the next video. Thank you.